It's showtime, my friend. How nice, come on in. It's so good to see you again. Got stories to share. I'm virtually there. It's showtime, my friend. It's showtime, my friend, with a tear or a grin. In a bit to begin. Wear sweatpants or slacks. Let's break out the snacks. It's showtime, my friend. If you have to go, I want you to know it's easy to sign right back in. You know that already. Connection too slow. Hey, I hope you don't miss the show, because it's showtime, my friend. Woo! It's time to prepare for our online affair. I do hope you'll stay till the end. I've tuned up my axe, sit back and relax. No matter how your day has been, we'll make you smile, make it all worth your while. It's showtime, it's starting in no time, it's showtime. Showtime, my friend. Hello, everybody. We'll see right now we have with us Bud, Brett, and Jeannie, Kim and Mark Wright, and Jack and Barb are here. All right, this is just a couple first minutes anyway. Now, this is going to be a folk show with a lot of, folk music from the 60s, stuff that, these are the kind of songs that I wanted to play when I started guitar, but boy, it took a while to get the fingers to go along with the program. As I've been explaining to some audiences, they call these guitar strings, okay? Yeah, it's a string. No, it's a wire. And these wires are made out of steel, or some kind of some properties that sound good, but they are steel because, you know what? I didn't have my little remote control for the guitar plugged in, so you weren't getting everything out of that. Going to need that for the rest of the program, that's for sure. All right, let me see if it... There it is. Yeah, they're steel because on the guitar, underneath there, they have a little pin, and it's got coils wrapped around it, electronic coils, and it actually magnetic. And when the guitar string vibrates, the magnet picks up these differences from how far away the string is vibrating and how quickly it is. And then that turns it into an electronic signal, which can be amplified. And there we get, what you're hearing from the guitar. All right, that's enough technical stuff. Let's get down to our country music here. The first one, country, folk music. And by the way, I just found out, I put a song up there that we're going to do a little bit later by the Kingston Trio. I put it out on our Wednesday show. If you didn't see that email with that, I was completely surprised to find out that the Kingston Trio were really the first folk group that, that exploded. Once they did, well, the record company saw dollar signs and said, let's go find everybody that can do folk music. And then they started putting out all those albums. That's why it was an explosion of folk music. Was it because we wanted it or because they wanted to make money? I'm not really sure about that. But maybe a combination of the both. So this one is This Land Is Your Land, written by Woody Guthrie. Woody was, we may know Arlo Guthrie. He's the one who did the song that you would know called Alice's Restaurant. That was his father. Woody Guthrie was his father. And Woody Guthrie was, well, I guess from what I understand, he wasn't a great father because he was always on the road. He was trying to promote this thing that people should be treated fairly. He was very hardworking to support the unions, the formations of unions, and helping people, getting people excited about being able to do that. And of course, singing, music, is one thing that people respond well to, and that is a big part of this. So here we go. Let's see if I can get this landed. Let's see. These will be the first notes. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me and in the skyway, I saw below me a golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. I roamed and rambled, I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sand and the diamond deserts, and all around me a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. The sun came shining as I was strolling, the wheat fields waving and the dust clouds rolling, a fog lifting, a voice came chanting. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking, I saw a sign there, and that sign said, no trespassing. And on the other side, it didn't say nothing. Now that side was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Now I'm lost. This land was made for you and me. In the squares of the city, in the shadow of the steeple, near the office, I see my people, and some are grumbling, and some are wondering if this land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. Nobody living can ever stop me as I go walking my freedom highway. Nobody living can make me turn back, 'cause this land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water, from, I think I already said that, California island. This land was made. Let me try it again. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the redwood wall. I'll explain it all in a minute. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. Well, I was counting on myself to be able to remember the chorus that I'd been singing for more than 50 years. So what happens, I was already, I started seeing some interesting things as I was playing through the song. I remembered, for instance, that Woody Guthrie was would often change the lyrics of the song as he would cross the country at different groups. He would try to mold them to some of the people that he was talking to or singing for, and the cause that they were standing for. And so I was thinking about that, and I was going to tell you about it. In the meantime, I couldn't remember the chorus of the song at the same time. Also, there were I thought it was really cool. I like that part about the sign. You know, on the back of the sign, it didn't say nothing, and that part was made for you. And it reminded me of a song. I think it was by the Five Man Electrical Band, where they talked about, you know, the parts that were the place you're not supposed to go, and the hippie's not supposed to go there, and all that good stuff. So who else will be read? We've got Joan is now tuned in. That's good. Great. Good to see all of you guys, or at least see your notes. I don't actually see you. Wouldn't that be a surprise? You go, what do you mean you can see me? I've heard this kind of thing is coming, but all right. Now, I often think of folk music as the ones that were what we thought of as almost protest music, but that's not always the case. Folk music means music that people could play, the folk could play, and it often started with the music in the Appalachians and music that people thought brought over from Europe. And one that I want to do now is On Top of Old Smoky, and this is a built-in a pattern that you see. The song starts out and it tells a little bit of the story, and the story progresses, and then it loops back around to the beginning. Another song like that is Found a Peanut. Okay, found a peanut just now. That whole song was done to My Darling Clementine. I didn't think of it. I was upstairs thinking about what I was going to be doing. I went, hey, that's My Darling Clementine's melody. Well, I'm not going to do that one. Let's do On Top of Old Smoky. And this one is a little cruel. Listen, his heart was obviously broken, and he's blaming all the women. When we were in elementary school, we only sang about 3 verses before it got grim and the main character puts down all women. I'm glad our singing teacher didn't bother to teach us the whole song there. So, all right, let's get the song here. Well, I'll see if I can figure it out. On top of Old Smoky. Oh, now I'm starting to sing the other song. Does that have him? Oh, Bill and Kathy are here now. All right. Yes. Okay. Yep. All right. So, you know what? On top. I'm starting to sing the melody for This Land Is Your Land. That's not going to work. So I'll tell you what. Let me go over to one by the Kingston Trio, and this I wrote an email on this one in the middle of the week. I think it was last week. This song called Trinidad. Apparently, there were many versions of this song. The first one came, and I didn't make my notes on here to be able to tell you that I had already written it in the email. A fellow, I think they called him Sir Lancelot, that was his stage name, wrote the song quite a few years before the Kingston Trio found it. And as I mentioned in that email, the song was then banned from the radio because they thought it was, kind of not nice. So, yeah. All right, so here is In Trinidad. I know I can do this one for you. The other one will come back to me in a little bit. In Trinidad there lived a family in much confusion. You soon will see there was a mama and a papa, and they had a son who wanted to marry and have a wife of his own. Woe is me. Why is that so bad? Shame and scandal in the family. Oh, woe is me. A shame and scandal in the family. Well, now he found a girl. She treated him nice. He went to his papa to ask his advice. His papa said, son, I gotta say no, 'cause that girl is your sister, but your mama don't know. Woe is me. A shame and scandal in the family. Oh, I see that. Oh, woe is me. A shame and scandal in the family. Well, he went to his mama. He hung down his head. He told his mama what his papa had said. His mama said, son, I gotta say go, 'cause your papa ain't your papa, but your papa don't know. Oh, woe is me. A shame and scandal in the family. Oh, woe is me. A shame and scandal in the family. By the way, the other thing I discovered when I found it, apparently Sir Lancelot, the stage guy, his stage name for that guy, came from a short story or something, like maybe a poem. It actually was written some before that. So it was pretty interesting, the history, when I found out about it. There are multiple versions. Some of them are done with heavy, Bahamian accents and all that kind of stuff. Really, really interesting. One of them was a really fast version of the song, and then there was this style, and another one kind of calypso. Anyway, a lot of variation in it. So the story certainly made the rounds. But did it deserve to be cut from the radio? I don't think so. I got it now. I got it. My mind is cleared. I'm ready to go. Thank you. Thanks, Gil. On top. Okay. A D chord. I got to hit a D. I got it. I knew I could do this, guys. Here we go. On top of Old Smoky, all covered with snow, I lost my true lover, a courtin' too slow. For a courtin's a pleasure and parting's a grief, and a false-hearted lover is worse than a thief. For a thief he will rob you and take all you have, yeah. And a false-hearted lover send you to your grave, and the grave will decay you. We didn't sing that in junior high or elementary school. Turn you to dust. Not one girl in 100, oh my, a poor boy can trust. Can you imagine how that would go over these days? They'll hug you and kiss you and tell you more lies than a cross ties on a railroad or the stars in the sky. They'll tell you they love you to give your heart ease, but the minute your back's turned, they'll court whom they please. So call you maidens and listen to me. Don't place your affections on a green willow tree, for the leaves they will wither and the roots they will die. You'll all be forsaken and never know why. I'll go up on Smoky, that mountain so high, mountain, yes, where the wild birds and turtle doves can hear my sad cry. As sure as the dewdrops fall on the green grass, last night she was with me, tonight she is gone. Wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. Sure as the dewdrops, we'll do that again, fall on the green corn, not the green grass. Last night she was with me, tonight she is gone. On top of Old Smoky, all covered with snow, I lost my true lover, a courtin' too slow. As I was singing, I thought there are some more verses somewhere, they're not on this page, that circle back more better to that first verse. But it's interesting. Right away it says, "I lost my true lover, a courtin' too slow." Now you tell me, you can blame it all on the girl, but who was courting too slow? You were. Come on. And the reason I can say this is when I was a young guy, a girl invited me up into a treehouse, and I went up there with her, and I was really nervous, and I just talked and talked and talked, and the next thing I knew, she had a different boyfriend. So I don't blame her. It was me. I was scared. I was a young guy, man. I didn't know what was going on. Okay. So that's On Top of Old Smoker. We found it. Now, how about, here's one that's quite serious. One that we took very well, especially during the Vietnam months. Where Have All the Flowers Gone? And you know, I've been reading a book by John Fogerty. He's the guy who was the leader and really pretty much all of Creedence Clearwater Revival. He wrote the songs. He taught his musicians how to play them, and it took a long time. They were not players. They were beginners, really. And he got them to the point where they can make those records. And then they betrayed him. They took his they sued him, and his life went really badly. But a big thing for him is he's extremely suspicious that most wars are fought sacrificing the young people so that the leaders can run off with some piece of property or oil or such, everything else. It's all about money and politics and stuff. It has nothing to do with being good or whatever. It's more like we want what you got, so we're taking it. You see it all the stuff we see right now. It's exactly the same, isn't it? Just it's so sad that here we are in this age where we're talking about artificial intelligence coming and genetic manipulation, things that can improve the human life, and still we have these terrible wars and all because of greedy people. So I don't like it. I don't like it. I mean, if they come to take your stuff, what are you going to do? Let them have it? That doesn't seem right either, but. So I have high hopes that some of the things that we develop in the future will eventually help us prevent all these kind of things. So anyway, here is a very sad song about that things haven't changed that much since the 1960s with all our high hopes. Here we go. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing, where have all the flowers gone? Long time ago, where have all the flowers gone? Girls have picked them, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all the young girls gone? Long time passing, where have all the young girls gone? Long time ago, where have all the young girls gone? Taking husbands, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all the young men gone? Long time passing, where have all the young men gone? Long time ago, where have all the young men gone? Gone to soul. I think I jumped a verse there. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Go back again. Where have all the young men gone? Long time passing, where have all the young men gone? Long time ago, where have all the young men gone. Gone for soldiers, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all the soldiers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the soldiers gone? Long time ago. Where have all the soldiers gone? Gone to graveyards, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all the graveyards gone? Long time passing. Where have all the graveyards gone? Long time ago. Where have all the graveyards gone? Gone to flowers, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? When will they? And then this is another one. This is another song that does a loop back. It makes a loop because then you can go right back into where have all the flowers gone, and it just starts all over again. And exactly how it has since the 1960s. We thought we were going to come up and we were going to change things, and then I went off and got a job as a musician and didn't change things. And the people who were serious in politics went off to that, and then they got taken in by the money, and we're right back where we started. I have high hopes. I still think we'll be able to beat it eventually. The glass is more than half full. In fact, somebody, why don't you just add some more water? Let's get it done, folks. All right. How about if... Thank you guys. All right. How about this one? If I Had a Hammer. And this one is almost circular again, too. We pull them all back together at the end. Certain kind of structure to this thing. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out a warning, I'd hammer out love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. Ooh, if I had a bell, I'd ring it in the morning, I'd ring it in the evening, all over this land. I'd ring out danger, I'd ring out a warning, I'd ring out the love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. If I had a song, I'd sing it in the morning, I'd sing it in the evening, all over this land. I'd ring out danger, I'd sing out a warning, I'd sing out the love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. Ooh, now I have a hammer, and I've got a bell, and I've got a song to sing all over this land. It's a hammer of justice, it's a bell of freedom, it's a song about love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. Ooh, it's a hammer of justice, it's a bell of freedom, it's a song about love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. A nice short song. I remember trying to learn guitar because I wanted to be able to do. Actually, the thing that really got me going, I suppose, was the Beatles. You'll hear that from many, many musicians that are in my age group here that, that started out with the Beatles. They went, oh my gosh. But a lot of us started also with folk music. One of the reasons they call it folk music, too, is a lot of the songs were fairly simple with the chord progressions. You could play everything right down here, right where the chords are, just right in this area. Now, when you start moving up the neck, you have to learn how to use what they call bar chords. And basically, you're pressing your finger down all the way across all the strings, and then you're playing patterns with the other fingers. But a lot of people find that very difficult because often it's hard to hold those strings down there so that they ring. Often it sounds more like this. And a lot of people give up doing that, and they want to play everything down here. And so that's why the songs were folk songs, because anybody who could play a guitar or a mandolin or a banjo would be able to play these songs. So the chord progressions were fairly simple. So there you go, folk music, the music of the common folk, shall we say. Now, let me jump down to, oh yeah, that's definitely, Bob Dylan got involved in all this stuff. Bob Dylan was a very strong admirer of Woody Guthrie. And Woody had kind of a nasal quality of singing, also a little bit like Hank Williams, how we had Hank Williams had that kind of tone in his voice like that. And Woody Guthrie's voice was a lot like that. And Bob started out singing like that. Later on, when he did an album called Nashville Skyline, he kind of changed his voice, and it sounded kind of like a singer, and I went, whoa, that was really interesting. And then after that album, he went right back to his kind of this other style. So this is one of his songs, Blowing in the Wind. I'm going to see if I can do it with finger picking. How many roads must a man walk down before you can call him a man? Yes, and how many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? Yes, and how many times must those cannonballs fly before they are forever banned? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Now, Bob would sing it like this. How many years can a mountain exist before it is washed to the sea? Yes, and how many years can some people exist before they're allowed to be free? Yes, and how many times can a man turn his head and pretend that he just doesn't see? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Yes, and how many times must a man look up before he can see the sky? Yes, and how many years must one man have before he can hear people cry? Yes, and how many deaths will it take till he knows that too many people have died? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. Answer is blowing in the wind. Okay, how about We Shall Overcome? Now, Pete Seeger wrote this song. I'm going to do another one that Pete Seeger was involved in. It was Good Night, Irene. He didn't write that one, but he wrote this one. And one of the things that I noticed while I was running through the chords on this, the chord progression is really nice. It's really simple at the beginning, and then he hits this A minor chord that just, it's really a sweet chord. He could have chosen an E minor. It would not have given the same feeling. So I'm just going to play the chords. Here's where it gets interesting. Do, 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 da, da, da. Okay, I'll listen to the song, but right in that part, when that A minor comes in, that really is, that's a very sweet chord. All right, here we go. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. We shall all be free. We shall all be free. We shall all be free someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. We will not afraid. We won't be afraid. We won't be afraid someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we won't be afraid someday. We won't be alone. We won't be alone. We won't be alone someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we won't be alone someday. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. I still have hopes. I don't know. I'm kind of pessimistic, but I think the pessimism is perhaps fueled by watching the news. They always have to report the scary stuff and the bad things that happen. If they talk about, some family that found a home and everything's working out for them, oh, we go, oh, that's nice. But when they tell us, this bad things are happening, you go, huh, what? Should I got to pay attention to that, And of course, if I don't watch much of the news, I don't know what's going on, but sometimes I don't want to know. Janice watches the news, and then at the end of the week, I say, could you kind of summarize it for me in about 1 minute or less? And that way it keeps me just a little bit more sane, I guess. So anyway, there it is. We Shall Overcome, written by Pete Seeger. I like to mention that. And let's go ahead and do this. Now, folk music isn't just protest music. It's the music that folk can play. Anybody can play with the simple chords. This one was a huge hit for the group. They were called the Weavers at the end of World War II, and this song was just tremendous at the time. So when I say that the Kingston Trio they weren't the first folk group, but they were huge. They were I would say probably the biggest folk group. Of course, Peter, Paul, and Mary were right up there, really popular with them. But the guys from the Kingston Trio continue to make albums. In fact, they were so popular, they're still performing. I think one of them is the son of one of the original guys. None of the original guys are part of it now, but I think some of them was from the family and other people that have been added. I think one of them was from the, now if I can remember that band. No, I can't remember it right now, but I know that before John Denver became the John Denver we know, he was part of another group, the Chad Mitchell Trio, I think it was. So I think one of the guys came from the Chad Mitchell Trio and is now a member of the Kingston Trio. So they're still out there performing. All right, let's own is Good Night, Irene. Oh, we actually have a drum beat for this one, too. It's a waltz. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Last Saturday night I got married. Me and my wife settled down. Now me and my wife have parted. Gonna take another stroll downtown. Doon, doon, doon. Irene, good night. Are you singing harmony? Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Boom, boom. Quit rambling and quit gambling. Quit staying out late at night. Go home to your wife and family and stay by the fireside bright. Boom, boom, boom. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Sometimes I live in the country. Sometimes I live in the town. Sometimes I take a fool notion to jump in the river and drown. Do-do-do. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Sometimes she wears her pajamas. Sometimes she wears her nightgown. On days when she does the laundry, Irene is the talk of the town. Do-do-do. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, I'll see you in my dream. That wasn't part of the song. I just heard that and I went, oh, I got to play that. And We Shall Overcome. Oh, another folk song. This is one that was done by Peter, Paul, and Mary. It's called Puff the Magic Dragon. Now, Peter Yarrow of the group found a poem by a fellow by the name Leonard Lipton. And it was made popular by the group in, Peter, Paul, and Mary in 1962. And released, it was recorded by them and then released in 1963. And Lipton wrote the poem about a dragon in 1959. So you see, it goes back a few more years. After the song was released, Peter Yarrow searched and found Lipton and gave him credit for the song, made sure he got paid for it. That's a good guy. A lot of the music industry isn't so good. It's kind of people ripping off the people in the business ripping off the young people coming up who don't know any better. So Puff the Magic Dragon, though, is not a song about marijuana. Peter has denied that many times. He said, unless Lipton, it was about the poem, unless Lipton wrote the poem about it being smoking weed or something. I mean, it's just a story. Come on, folks, lighten up. It's just that got nothing better to do than try to read meaning in songs, that innocent children's songs. I mean, come on, here we go. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Little Jackie Paper loved that rascal Puff and brought him strings and sealing wax and other fancy stuff. Oh, Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Yeah, Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Well, together they would travel on a boat with billowed sail. Jackie kept a lookout perched on Puff's gigantic tail. Noble kings and princes would bow wherever they came, and pirate ships would I lost my spot. Pirate ships would lower their flags when Puff roared out his name. Oh, Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Well, a dragon lives forever, but not so little boys. Painted wings and giant rings make way for other toys. One gray night it happened, Jackie Paper came no more, and Puff the mighty dragon, he ceased his fearless roar. Oh, Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. When his head was bent with sorrow, green scales they fell like rain, and Puff no longer went to play along the cherry lane without his lifelong friend. Puff could not be brave, so Puff the mighty dragon sadly slipped into his cave. Oh, Puff the magic dragon frolic in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolic in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Yeah, remember that one? Yeah, quite well. It was one of those early ones I learned. Part of it was that this song in particular was a little more difficult because of the chords. You didn't have just 3 or 4. You had C, E minor, and then you had to do one of these sort of bar chords. A lot of people would play it like this rather than this because, just it was easier to do. And then A minor and D7. Still, they're all right down here at that low end of the guitar, right where you can play them, as long as you could get your fingers to do the job. Oh, let's see what else we have. But there was a... let's do an up-tempo one. Thank you. Cool. Oh, that's, by the way, I forgot to mention. Hi, Joe. I saw Joe this afternoon. I was over at Craft Care in Holt and played a show for the folks there. And so, Joe, I get to see Joe once a month in person. This next one is a little bit up-tempo song. It's called John Henry. And let me see if I can get this other stuff out of the way. I have to scroll the screen while I'm doing this one. There are a lot of extra verses in this song. I think some of the people who recorded this, back in the folk era, kind of sneak some of the verses out of there. In fact, the one at the very end, you're going to hear one about his woman, Polly Ann, took over the hammer and hammered against that steel mill. Was that what they? We'll figure steam drill. That was it. She took over. I don't remember that in any of the versions that I heard before. Any of you remember, other than when I've sung this one here before? Do you remember that there was that Polly Ann came into the picture? I'm glad. I think it's good. But here we go. So yeah, these are good oldies, aren't they? I remember. I mean, these were fun stuff. Let me get this scrolling here. No, my screen won't scroll for me. All right, here we go. Wow. There we go. When John Henry was a little baby, sitting on his daddy's knee, he picked up... Just a second here, you guys. I did not turn off my phone like I usually do. Oh, come on now. How do I try to... I didn't turn off my phone, and somebody from somewhere was calling, and it takes over my my hearing aids, so I can't. When John Henry was a little baby, I'll probably try to call back, sitting on his daddy's knee, he picked up a hammer and a little piece of steel. He cried, "Hammer gonna be the death of me, Lord, Lord. Hammer gonna be the death of me." Now the captain, he said to John Henry, "I'm gonna bring that steam drill round. I'm gonna bring that steam drill out on these tracks. I'm gonna knock that steel on down, Lord, Lord. Gonna knock that steel on down." Well, John Henry, he told his captain, "A man ain't nothing but a man. Before I let that steam drill beat me down, I'm gonna die with this hammer in my hand, Lord, Lord. I die with this hammer in my hand." Well, John Henry, driving on the right side, that steam drill was driving on the left. Said, "Before I let that steam drill beat me down, I'm gonna hammer myself to death, Lord, Lord. Hammer my poor self to death." Well, the captain, he said to John Henry, "What is that storm I hear?" John Henry said, "That ain't a storm now, Captain. That's just my hammer in the air, Lord, Lord. It's just my hammer in the air." said to his shaker, hey shaker, don't you sing, 'cause I'm swinging 30 pounds from my hip on down. Yeah, listen to my cold steel ring, Lord, Lord, you gotta listen to my cold steel ring. Well, that Johnny, he hammered in the mountain. He was striking like in fire. The work so hard and it broke his poor heart. He laid down his hammer and he died, Lord, Lord. John Henry laid down his hammer and he died. Well, now John Henry, he had him a woman, and by the name of Polly Ann. She walked down the tracks, picked up the John and hammer, and Polly drove that steel like a man, Lord, Lord. She drove the steel like a man. Oh, now every Monday morning, when the bluebird he start to sing, you can hear John Henry from a mile or more. You can hear John Henry's hammer and it sing, Lord, Lord. You can hear John Henry's hammer sing. You can hear John Henry's hammer sing, Lord, Lord. You can hear John Henry's hammer ring. Yeah, there are a lot of things in there that I don't remember from the version that I, remembered way back when. I think maybe, different singers will they'll kind of memorize a thing or think they memorize it, and then they'll throw in their own lyrics, and you end up with different versions that are floating all around. And that one about Pollyanna, well, I'm glad to see them including a woman, and that makes sense to me. Yeah. Boy, I've been watching any of the Olympic trials. Woo, man. I was watching those runners. I'm talking about the what my mom had on the TV was the women trials. Oh my gosh. Just that, it's like unbelievable the power that they're throwing at that. Just throwing to hitting the ground. Whew. All right, where are we? We're down to the last couple minutes here, aren't we? I still haven't done all of them. How about we do, there was one more I had in mind here that I thought we could do. Did that already. Did that. Oh, I know. Let's finish up with You Gotta Do Kumbaya, right? Okay, let's finish. We'll finish up with that. And next week, I don't know what I'm going to do next week, but that's right. We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. And thank you so much. Thank you all for being here. I play a lot of songs here, just fooling around. I really like to play and like to make the music, and I will play songs for myself, ones that I really like. But it's nice to be able to play them for you folks. Okay, here we go. Kumbaya. And by the way, I think I mentioned if you used to sing along with these things, when you were, if you were protesting, I suppose, if you used to sing these things, hey, go ahead and sing along. If you know the harmony, go ahead and do it. That's how I learned a lot of songs, by singing harmony with other people's stuff. Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya, Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya, oh Lord, Kumbaya. There are a couple of different ways to sing that last part. Sometimes people jump right in, they go, oh Lord, Kumbaya. I like to add the extra beat, so I go, oh Lord, Kumbaya. Someone's singing, Lord, Kumbaya. Someone singing, Lord, kumbaya. Someone singing, Lord, kumbaya. Oh Lord, kumbaya. Someone's laughing, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's laughing, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's laughing, Lord, kumbaya. Oh Lord, kumbaya. Someone's crying, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's crying, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's crying, Lord, kumbaya. Oh Lord, kumbaya. Someone's praying, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's praying, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's praying, Lord, kumbaya. Oh Lord, kumbaya. Someone's sleeping, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's sleeping, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's sleeping, Lord, kumbaya. Oh Lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Oh Lord, kumbaya. Again, thank you all for being here, and I'm here. We'll start out with a little takeaway music. This is not a folk song. It's a song for a TV show. Thank you all for being here, and we will see you guys next week. It says, Mark just asked what it meant. Means come by here, my Lord. You know, and right, that's in some versions they sing that. They sing that, come by here, my Lord. I think it's an African song. If I remember, that's where the origin of it. That's right. I think, Mark, you knew that. You just kind of wanted to let the rest of the people know who might not have known that. And oh no, I'm getting that fading feeling. You know how that happens to me every so often? Hey, wait a minute. I'm going to make the library go away first. And I want to show you what happens. The green screen behind me there does not show up as green. You can see a patch over here. That's because the light is real strong and it's not a perfect green over in that corner. So then but I can make anything appear behind me. Well, in this case, it's a library. It just says, put this picture everywhere that you see green. And I've run into that before with shirts that had green on them, and it would put the library in my shirt right through me. By the way, here's a new shirt I got. I don't know if it's bamboo or whatever. No, it's not bamboo. They don't have that kind of leaf. I got some new shirts I'll be using over the next few weeks. All right, thanks. All right, everybody. I am going to leave you now and let the music take you away. Here we go. Thank you all. Thank you, Joan. It's great fun. Until next time.